Hi, I'm Bo Huffman from the Hastings and Kearney GNCs. We're here to help you live well each and every day. So whether you're looking for a good quality multiple vitamin for the family, a fish oil for your overall health and wellness needs, to sports nutrition, weight loss, whatever your goal, we're here to help you live well each and every day.
Hey guys, welcome to the Sports Hub, brought to you by GNC. I'm your host, Connor O'Gara, joined by Nathan Hart. Nathan, it was a must-win game for a lot of teams last weekend, especially for Kearney High, and they got that must-win game.
Yeah, they're still in the race for the playoffs. It's kind of a three-team race for that final spot in the district between Lincoln, North Star, Fremont, and Kearney. And Kearney, those are the two opponents that Kearney's got the next 2 weeks. Last week they got on track offensively, were able to mix things up well between the running game and the passing game. They'll get that chance this week at home against Fremont, who's allowing 45 points per game in their 4 losses. So you'll look for Tyler Gill and Matt Kester again to get on track in the running game. For Fremont, offensively, they've struggled a little bit. They're really a passing team. Elliott Globe has 1,200 passing yards, but they've really struggled running and establishing an offense. Their leading rusher only has 352 yards on the season. So Kearney's got a chance for a big win this week, which would set up a huge matchup, kind of winner-take-all against Lincoln North Star next week.
We've got a big headliner in C1 this weekend. Cozad is going to travel to Kearney Catholic to take on the Stars. A couple 5-0 teams clashing on Friday night, and it's going to be a good one. Cozad, a team that is fueled by Jake Paulsen, of course, the All-State tailback. He is going to have a tough task going against that Kearney Catholic defense. Stars are coming off a 23 shutout against Minden. They looked really good defensively, about as good as they've looked this season. And that matchup between the Kearney Catholic line and Jake Paulsen is going to be a good one. Paulsen likes to get those big runs off of cutbacks, and Kearney Catholic has made it a point. They did it last weekend when they shut down Quint Rutt, and really that's what they're going to try and do to limit Paulsen. They did it last year. So big test for the Stars. Cozad, of course, looking to get over that hump. They got a big win against Adams Central in their season opener, and this is another one of those teams that the Haymakers are going to look to get past. The Stars are fueled by a pretty balanced attack between Thomas Connolly at tailback, John Masker at quarterback, and this team is looking about as good as they can right now. They were really, really balanced last weekend, and they're going to look to get another big performance. This is going to be a really good game. I can't stress that enough with how talented these teams are in all facets of the game. That Cozad defense, Kearney Catholic defense, only allowing something like 7-8 points a game. I have no idea score-wise if you can expect a low-scoring game, a high-scoring game. Just playmakers on both sides of the ball. Should be a really good one in C1.
We've got good matchups all around. Another good one is Elm Creek at Overton. Another pair of undefeated teams, top 10 teams in D1. Just should be a really fun game. Elm Creek's offense is pretty dynamic. They got a handful of players that have been playing well, fast guys, Hayden guys, Christian Best, Nick Crowley at quarterback. They've just beat 2 straight undefeated teams, but they've got another one here in Overton who's led by Hayden Cahoy. He's averaging 11 yards a carry, has 18 touchdowns on the season, putting up close to 200 yards of offense per game.
It's pretty good.
Pretty impressive line from a running back, and Elm Creek will have their hands full with him. Should be a fun game. Overton defensively hasn't allowed more than 8 points in the last 3 games. Just a clash of some D1 Titans on Friday.
Yeah, we talked about Elm Creek. It seems like every week, but they are that good. Couple of big wins in the past 2 weeks. Overton also a couple of big wins in the past 2 weeks. I actually got a chance to catch up with Overton coach Paul Husenfeld in this edition of the Coach's Corner.
Well, I think we've been better than we've been in the past. And last year, we fell into some problems that happened before that, and we had a bunch of guys that weren't able to play. But this year, besides one, we're really a full squad, and I think we match up with them really well. And I'm proud of our guys. They've been working hard, and they'll continue to work hard. Well, I tell you what, my first year here, Elm Creek was pretty tough. I don't know if they were undefeated or not, but they were tough, and they were in our way to get a district title, and we beat them and beat Alma, and so it's always nice to be able to get a chance to go up against Elm Creek at their best. So.
We got another big showdown in D1 between Arapahoe and Alma. Arapahoe is coming off of 2 straight losses to undefeated teams. Fell to Elm Creek and then to Overton last week. Alma, on the other hand, is coming off their biggest win of the season, kind of their first blowout win. They won a 56-26 game against Southwest. And really, Alma is fueled by Jared Bantam, Tarek Malzahn, and Chris Simmons at quarterback. And this offense is looking to prove itself in the final stretch of the season. This is an important game for Alma because they're 4-1 right now, but that last 3 games on their schedule is murderer's row. They got Arapahoe this week, they got Elm Creek, and they got Overton. It's not getting any easier for Alma, and Arapahoe is going to look to end that 2-game skid. Going to look to get Caden Waverka going. Caden Waverka was held. I say that lightly because 106 yards is still really good, but for a guy who really fuels that offense, Waverka is so important, and 106 yards was not good enough last weekend. They actually fell at the hands of Overton. Kind of a bad loss for Arapahoe if you consider what they've done in the last 2 years, but they're going to look to rebound, look to get some more momentum going into the playoffs, and they're really facing kind of a tough end to their schedule this season. So every win is important for Arapahoe with how tough that district is. Elm Creek and Overton, can't say enough about those 2 teams. So both teams got something to prove this weekend. Huskers got their Big Ten schedule, started off with a 39-19 win against Illinois last weekend. They're going to look to continue that hot start. They're going to travel to West Lafayette to take on the Boilermakers. Huskers got a big performance out of Amir Abdullah. He helped out Tommy Armstrong Jr., who was making his first Big Ten start of his career, and Abdullah got going behind an offensive line that really paved the way for him.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if Abdullah had another big game this week. Purdue's really struggling against the running game. They're giving up 180 rushing yards a game. So expect Abdullah to do well, and Purdue offensively on the other side, pretty anemic on offense, averaging just 17 points per game. So a struggling Purdue team that Nebraska's got this week.
Purdue, of course, had a good non-conference schedule. I believe they faced all BCS teams, and the one BCS team they didn't face actually made a BCS bowl in Northern Illinois. So Boilers 1-4 coming into this one, but not exactly a team that maybe is indicative of their record. Last week, our friend Bo at GNC, he predicted a closer Nebraska outcome, which is kind of what we thought, but it ended up being a 19-point or a 20-point game rather. Bo didn't exactly say it's going to be as close this week. He is here with our GNC Muscle Man Pick of the Week.
Hi, Bo Huff from Kearney and Hastings GNC's here one more time for our pick of the week for the Nebraska game. We were right last week, gave Illinois maybe a little bit too much credit, but as of right now, I really think maybe Nebraska's kind of starting getting on a roll. Purdue is really down in the Big Ten this year. Probably going to be a pretty big week for us, probably about 42 to probably about 20, I'm guessing, is what I'm looking for a score this week. So anything else you need, any health, wellness needs or concerns, come see us at the Hastings and Kearney GNC's, and we'll help you live well every day. See you then.
Nathan, could you believe the score of that Loper game last weekend? 56-6, Lopers win against Lindenwood.
A little crazy, and the crazier thing was the Lopers totally changed their offense to get that win.
Completely changed their offense. Luke McNick got the start at quarterback. He rushed for 3 touchdowns. Romero Cotton had a huge day running the football. 36 carries, 215 yards. Loper offense was just completely different. I know weather conditions definitely helped them out with that ground game. Lindenwood, a team that throws the ball a lot, but still, the win by 50 points, Lopers really look good out there.
Problem is Central Arkansas is going to have a week to scout whatever the Lopers did last week.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for a Loper team to kind of to roll with that momentum. Central Arkansas, a team that really has had a good non-conference schedule so far.
Team.
FCS team as well. Need to remember that. Only lost by 13 points to Colorado at Boulder. That's pretty impressive in itself. I don't know if the Lopers could necessarily pull off something like that, but this is going to be an interesting game. It'll be interesting to see if UNK kind of runs a new system. They only threw the ball 4 times last week. Are they going to do that again? Are they going to? I mean, you score 56 points. It's hard not to say let's do exactly that in the next game. Should be really interesting.
And they'll be tested defensively. Central Arkansas is pretty dynamic on offense. Their quarterback is 6th in the FCS in passing yards, so it could be a tough test for the defense.
Well, Lopers are certainly going to look to get another win. Huskers going to look to get another win, and high school football teams with big important statement games this weekend should be a fun one as always. I will not be in town this weekend, unfortunately. I picked an odd week to go out of town. Nathan, you will be in town. Nathan and Buck will have all your Friday night coverage. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at CJ O'Gara, at NMHearts, and at HubSports_Buck. Also give our Hub Sports blog a follow. That's at HubSportsBlog. And just, follow that hashtag NEBPreps. So for Connor O'Gara, Nathan Hart, this has been the Sports Hub. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.